All right, we have an update for you on the Sitzer Burnett, Missouri case versus NAR. And as we expected, the NAR has challenged the verdict in that. And in a nutshell, they basically said that the jury lacked a legally sufficient basis to find for the plaintiffs, and they requested a new trial if the judge declines to enter judgment as a matter of law. So, in essence, they said, well, a quote from their attorney says, or their spokesperson, the verdict was wrong and defied precedent, logic, and evidence. We believe we have solid grounds for our continuing objections to the verdict. Our motions detail our arguments that the verdict was wrong on the facts and that the judge applied the wrong law to the case, which played a large part in the jury reaching the incorrect conclusion. Now, if you're not really familiar with this case, it basically stems around a complaint by a group of home sellers in Missouri who allege that commission rates are too high, that buyer brokers are being paid too much, and that the NAR rules lead to fixed pricing. The sellers argued that buyer representation is obsolete and should only be afforded to wealthy buyers who can pay for the services out of pocket. Now, if anybody actually understands real estate, that is insane. It's the most insane argument ever. Since day one, I'm now 21 years in real estate. And since day one, it has been drilled into us that prices are negotiable. You can negotiate anything that you want. Now, there are some brokerages that say, hey, we're not going to negotiate, we're not going to allow our negotiations to we're not going to allow our agents to negotiate very much because our business model takes a split of their commissions. And so any negotiations on their part reduces what we take. But that's a business model. And there's lots of different business models. At the same time, there's business models like my own that we charge a flat fee to our agents and they can negotiate anything else they want within that flat fee. And that's been the case forever. All right, this isn't something recent that we've changed to try to scramble with this ruling or this verdict. We've always been able to negotiate. Now, what I really want to address here is this ludicrous notion that buyer representation is obsolete. Now, I've done a couple of other videos where I talk about the values that a buyer agent can bring to the table, and a good buyer's agent is worth their weight in gold. There are so many transactions that would never get to the finish line. Hang-ups with inspections, hang-ups with appraisals. It's not just simply because the public has access to the internet and they can look and find homes themselves. That is the very least of what we do, is finding homes on the internet for people. That is the very least of what we do. Understanding the contracts, those contracts have legal precedent associated with them. They're created by great attorneys. A lot of those attorneys worked for the Association of Realtors, at least in Utah, almost all of our forms do. And our understanding of those contracts, and because of the legal precedent, we're able to solve lots of problems and keep our clients from having to go to court. Or if somebody does want to sue, at least there's some clear rulings available because the contracts and the way the agents utilize them to protect their clients can really help out in getting a quick ruling. It's very rare to have something dragged out forever in court, which can be extremely expensive for buyers and sellers. So realtors provide this phenomenal value, and I can refer you to some of my other videos if you want to know more about that. But I do agree absolutely with the NAR in this. Frankly, I wasn't there in the courtroom. I'm not sure how they lost this in the first place, because it is mind-blowing to me that they have this idea that there's price fixing somehow, or that buyer's agents are obsolete. They're both absolutely ludicrous. But anyways, there's the update for you on the trial.